had it the whole fucking time.
Yeah, well.
Never came into the goddamn show.
I bet you were thinking, if only I had the belt. Smitty's outside. Can someone let him in?
He doesn't know the damn number?
No. I need the code. It's been 302-485 for fucking ever. Ew, I heard that. You're disgustingly beautiful.
It stinks. Coming down the aisle from parts unknown.
From a dark country in Africa.
Nope, sit at the head of the table. Why are you bringing in food, dude?
Because I just got this because I did the whole goddamn...
Don't care. Put it on the floor. It's not going to be on camera. Idiot.
What'd you get?
I smell.
I did the ritual thing, got a wing from Jacoby for $1.
About to say, I smell hot sauce. I smell wings.
I'm going to start eating them and take...
You get Jacoby wings and not Sweetwater wings?
That weren't available for ritual on it for $1.
That's, yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, I did a Jew thing.
Man, I spend money, though, you know.
I save money.
Shit. We should switch roles.
I get it, because you're Jewish and you spend money.
I was just thinking we could switch roles from, you know, the waist down.
Oh, well. Why would you want a smaller? Why would you want a smaller penis?
It can't get much.
That only likes men.
Oh man, maybe you're right. Fuck.
Oh, by the way, the whole Vince Man hates black people was worded wrong. I think Vince Man does not look at black people the same way he looks at white people. He hates them.
You know what though?
I think that's a stupid case. You know what? We're gonna talk a lot about that today.
Cool. Yeah, cause
we're gonna lead it off with actually.
Cool.
Okay, then I'll wait to say what I got to say.
Yeah.
I'll say it on the air, you know, on the fly.
On the flizz eye, my guy. All right.
Shoot from the hip.
All right, we're starting late. I don't give a fuck.
Ding, ding, ding.
You're a ding, ding, ding.
I'm either fuck my landlord's friend or my
Oh, I should turn up some of these.
So you gonna fuck your landlord?
landlord's friend or possibly my
Oh.
landlord.
All right, shut up, Smitty.
These got complicated tonight.
Apparently, don't shut up, Smitty.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
If you want to piss off Ronda Rousey, have her husband there so he can fucking forearm you in the face. But don't expect it to come too fast because it's going to take its fucking time getting there. How long does it take its time? Longer than Seth Rollins stares at Brock Lesnar on the ramp before Drew McIntyre claymores him in the face. And also, longer than Kofi Kingston will have to wait to see if he's in WrestleMania. We get into that and more this week as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? Break it down! Woo! You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was gonna do that. I just knew he was gonna do that. He don't need Janetti. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. The crew prays to the top, oh yeah. It's just the man with the rock in cooking. Bulletproof for life, good bout, and good night.
They got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Nicomas.
Nicholas.
Whole effing Joe.
And me, the ring crew champion, the almighty one, Mikey himself.
Hey, where's your title, asswipe?
That gets in the backseat of my car.
I want some pro-rated title holding time.
Yeah?
I never got my
Well,
freaking title time
look.
last time.
Look, twice.
I like how the tallest guy on our show holds back the title from the blackest and smallest guys on our show. Hey,
You're not taller than me, are you?
Z is, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? He's the one that holds the title back.
Yeah, it does. Fuck you, nigga. Wigger. Whatever the fuck you want to call
I
it.
haven't heard that word in I think over 10 years.
Malibu's
Wigger?
most wanted.
Oh, I say wiggle all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's hilarious. I say that, and I've really brought out cracker. I just love calling people crackers. Doesn't matter what color you are.
I know, you call me
Okay,
cracker all the
Yeah, I
time.
call everyone a cracker. I was like, what's up, cracker? And then when people are leaving, I tell them to stay black. Really fucking weird for people.
I'm just gonna make you awkward to call you my nigga.
That's not gonna make me awkward, dude. I grew up in the fucking east side of Detroit. I was the only white kid in my high school. Nothing
We talking about
nothing
this.
about that makes me awkward.
When we had this conversation, you're in some of the area I grew up in.
Yeah.
I live in the Channel Park area.
I was literally told by all of my black friends I was the only white guy they knew that was allowed to call them that. And I'll be very honest, I fucking said it back in the day. I haven't said that word since high school. Well, a little
They
bit after.
fucking knighted you like.
I know. I was
got
really
nigga knighted.
cool.
Are you guys
Nigga night,
sidecasting
Mikey.
on your hoodish pass?
No, we're not at all because this is leading into
Nigga night.
what we're no.
Nigga night, Mikey.
No,
hashtag.
you can't. It can't be at night because you can't see it. It's got to be during the day. Otherwise, you have no idea that shit's going on unless someone's really happy and smiling.
The black man is on the show. It's okay.
So, all right, look, there's a lot to get into this week. Miz cut an amazing promo on SmackDown, but
It's an amazing
the whole,
face
whose-
promo.
Whose volume can I hear? Is it yours, Smitty?
I don't think. No,
someone's
I'm on Bluetooth.
video is playing. Someone's Periscope.
I'm on Bluetooth.
Yes.
Nope.
No, but the sound. Can I hear the sound on it? Oh, Jesse calling us fools. Fucking. All right, a lot to get into this week.
That may be me, actually.
It is you.
Yeah, so turn the phone.
we
It was
go.
in your fucking headphones?
Yeah.
So he throws his headphones. He's like, I gotta take care of this food. Fuck this shit.
Hey, I'm an improv Negro.
He's like, how much did I pay for this? $20. All right, fuck it.
No, I got it for free 99 because I stole them,
Even
motherfuckers.
better. I'm fucking
From Lost and
God,
Found.
Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, so much to get into, but let's let everybody know from the jump, right off the bat. Remember, WrestleMania is April 7th. We are hosting a WrestleMania viewing party at Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit. 1218 Randolph Street, Detroit, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to be there. We're going to be having the pre-show on. We're going to have the whole pay-per-view on. We're going to be showing everything. Prizes, giveaways, live podcasting, maybe even some on the fucking videos. What's up? On top of that, we are going to be facing off against the Pro Wrestling Scorecards people for the third time. I am the one who definitely made this happen. It's a grudge match, myself versus Jesse, which basically it kind of gives me the win, right? Like I'm kind of like finally going to get my win. It finally comes back because, oh shit.
My own too becomes a 50-50 because I'm paired with Z. You put me in a tag match. You gave me a disadvantage.
It's great. Have you not? So, Pro Wrestling Scorecards, Daniel from Pro Wrestling Scorecards did that poster. I don't know if you saw it.
I know. I saw it. It was awesome.
Fantastic.
That is so I told him, I was like, look, man, I really have, we should we should make this an old school wrestling poster. And the size that he did it, no, Daniel was not on the phone. I had the thing wrong. Oh, look at that. Now that sound was me. Sorry. I got a new iPad. What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
So yeah, I said, dude, we should do like an old timey poster. And he was like, all right, I'll hook it up. And so I had everyone take photos. and we weren't sure we were going to use the photos. But the first photo of Jesse and I for the first one was so good that he was like, all right, I'm going to use everyone's photos. And he put it all in there. So if we're going to get this up, we're going to post this on our social media. I'm pretty sure Pro Wrestling Scorecards had showed it up on their social media.
We got a couple of hits on there because I saw it on theirs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll be very honest. It's very possible they put it up. I had the fucking busiest weekend of my life.
I'm gonna take care of it. I got you.
I know because I work in the same industry as you do.
So I was really checked out of all kinds of wrestling this week, but obviously paid attention to stuff. So yeah, Daniel made this poster. Daniel did it himself. All I did was send him some fucking photos. So we're going to get this posted on our social media. So guys, make sure that you're following at PW Scorecards because they're going to come out with scorecards for NXT TakeOver for WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania, and the G1 special at Madison Square Garden between New Japan and Ring of Honor. So we're going to have 3 scorecards that we're going to be filling out. And then we are going to
versus
see
like
who wins.
G1 is G1 and not versus.
Yeah, whatever. I'm pretty sure someone from New Japan is going to be taking on someone from ROH, so it will be a verse in there some point.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, definitely get into that a little bit more because there was a lot, man. There was
some card changes because of some title changes.
PW Scorecards people were at ROH 17th anniversary.
Yeah, and they fucking had a blast. A lot of stuff. Dez was posting a lot of photos and videos of things that were going on in there. And look, man, I'm really excited for this because, look, it's just always fun with the Pro Wrestling Scorecards people. But you can fill out your own scorecard, all right, if you come and see us at the WrestleMania viewing party at Buffalo Wild Wings, downtown Detroit, 1218 Randolph Street, Detroit, Michigan. And if you fill out your scorecard and you have the most points, you're going to win our big prize. What's our big prize? Fuck you. You got to wait to find out. So go to our Facebook, facebook.com/BDRcast. Go to the events tab. And right there, the first top event is our WrestleMania viewing party at Buffalo Wild Wings. Click interested so you can be reminded. Click going because fuck you, you're coming. And we're going to have the whole second floor. And we're going to be having a whole bunch of fun at Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, let's talk about the first thing in wrestling right now. And this is probably one of the stories with the most heat in a good way. It's white hot. Kofi Kingston. Kofi ran the gauntlet match this week, beating Sheamus, beating Cesaro, Rowan disqualified himself. Then Samoa Joe comes out. He lost. He put Kofi back to sleep. Randy comes out. Kofi beats Randy. All right. It's, it was a good match. Yeah. Kofi wins.
The gauntlet was actually really good.
Yeah, and then really Vince comes out. He says, congratulations, Kofi. You're going to WrestleMania if you can beat this one last person. And then Daniel Bryan comes out. And I kind of knew Daniel Bryan was coming out because he came out earlier and he was in his trunks, but he had no match. And then all of a sudden he's out in this end of this match. And Daniel Bryan beats fucking Kofi Kingston. And so no longer is Kofi Kingston going to WrestleMania. And the big verbiage that's coming out about this, okay, the huge verbiage is Vince McMahon hates black people, right? And I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on. I didn't mean it in that way.
I fucking hate this argument, right? And I hate this argument because the only thing that someone has to go on it is no black person has ever held the WWE title. That's the comment, right? But The Rock
has an asterisk.
He's half. Okay, well then Barack Obama has an asterisk for being the first black president.
I agree with that as well.
Okay, so I'm sitting there going, okay, if you're gonna make an argument because there's no black title holder, but at the same time, Kofi's getting pushed to the moon right now. I'm not saying Kofi's going to win WrestleMania, but Kofi is the hottest thing in professional wrestling, and Vince McMahon is putting his personal stamp on it by being out there every fucking time. Is it annoying to me that this is taking so long to get to? Uh-huh. But is it a Vince McMahon hates black people thing? Not to me. What about you, Smitty? I mean, honestly, overall, in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme, I don't think he hates black people. In the grand scheme, I don't think he sees his black superstars on the equivalent of his Caucasian superstars. I think he does see potential in Kofi, but I don't think he sees Kofi as a SmackDown top guy. I don't think just like guys like Booker T, like and Mark Henry. I just had this argument earlier today. Mark Henry and Booker T held the world title, but the world title was at the time they held it was held below both the United States and the Intercontinental Championship at that point.
How do you mean it was? Maybe the IC, but how is it? For brand reasons, I can understand the IC, but how was it held beneath the U.S.?
If you look at Mark Henry's title run, the U.S. title and the IC title both came on before both the the world title would come on before both the IC and the U.S. titles.
Do they do that all the time now? They did that at Fastlane, dude.
I'm saying, but you look at even when Booker T was holding the title, it was held as literally the mid card title of SmackDown. Unless it was
I'd say it was the top title on SmackDown.
In general, not in general, but specifically more so when a black man held that title. Go back and watch when those guys had runs.
When King Booker was the man.
I love King Booker.
He was like at the top of every card, dude. He was the focus of every show.
Spin a Rooney.
He had Sharmell and Finley and Regal and the King's Court. And
is it the King's Court? At that point, I would say yes. The U.S. title was not below him, but
that's what I just said.
But the IC and the WWE Championship were.
I don't think that's a race thing. I think that's just a Vince ego thing. Like, my WWE titles are still more than any WCW
but if that's
title.
the case, the WWE title.
I can't help it.
Back to the whole WWE title thing. Outside the Anoa'i legacy, do you think Dwayne Johnson would have touched that title?
Yeah.
Despite his charisma?
Yeah, dude.
Oh no,
he was white hot, dude.
You're at this point now. You're go ahead. If that's the case, Kofi should have touched that title. Should be touching the title.
Kofi was never as over as The Rock, dude.
No, 09.
No,
2009.
You just blew your entire argument.
No, if 2009, his feud with Randy Orton.
No.
You think he could?
No.
If he touched that title, even if it was just a month or two,
dude, he was at no level that was anywhere near The Rock.
I'm sure. Was he over enough to where if you gave him a win over Orton when he had the title in 09, do you think Kofi would have been able to run at least for a month or two with that title?
Well, sure, if they booked it that way.
And why do you think they didn't do it?
It's not because Kofi is black. It's because Randy Orton has the lineage.
I think Randy Orton had something to do with that.
And at that point, you said the lineage. You go back to my whole Rock argument.
But the Rock was over not because of his lineage. Randy Orton was given spots because of his lineage. The same way Cena was given spots because of how much he was doing outside of the WWE. All right, it's not Randy Orton.
And Randy Orton himself had a lot to do with Kofi being held back because he had, the whole botch and he had true beef with. He went to the office about Kofi.
What?
No, 2009 is like
that's why the whole. Hold on. That's why the whole stupid thing is a thing. Because Kofi botched a move in a match
and triple threat.
Randy seriously went off script, was calling him stupid in the middle of the ring, and
he was supposed to kill him with the punt.
He totally buried Kofi.
He was supposed to kill him with the punt, but he botched the punt spot, so he hit him with RKO as an improvisation. He called him stupid right before he.
And that was Kofi's kind of one little brush with the top of the card. And ever since then, he never came anywhere near then until now.
That's 10 years.
I totally forgot about that. But at the same time, okay.
Remember when they had that almost blood feud when
Kofi
smashed up his car with a bat or something?
Yeah,
and they hit that boom drop off from the.
Yeah, it was right during it was during that feud.
I remember it now. Yeah, like I said, I remember it now. It took a second. I totally forgot just because of that little small minute detail of it. But look, Randy Orton's lineage put him where he was. Plus, dude, Joe hates him. Joe thinks he's boring as fuck.
I don't hate Randy.
Really? Oh, okay. I thought you. Well, you used to call him Blandy Borton.
That doesn't mean I hate him.
He lacks his charisma.
I think Randy Orton is one of the better in-ring workers that have come across the WWE ring. I think he is just really smooth in that ring and basically does a lot of things to perfection. That being said, I agree. I don't think he's the most overly charismatic person. That's the lineage that helped him. The Rock got himself over when people were chanting "Die Rocky Die" because the WWE was trying to push him.
Damn, a Roman pushing on mid card.
That's fine, but it made everyone hate him. So he went heel when he came back from that injury, joined the Nation of Domination. In that, definitely went to face because he just started getting so popular. The Rock got himself over with his catchphrases and his charisma. If it would have been another guy if it was Kofi would have done all of that stuff, the same thing that Rock was doing, then Kofi would have got himself over.
Putting him in the Nation helped bring him to fruition of like what he was too, because it was clear like he was like up here and the rest of the Nation was like nowhere near what he was as far as star power.
Once again, I say
you know, and
that Noe legacy
that really made him. He stood out for the rest of them, which made him stand out in general even more.
Right.
You know,
what were you saying, Smitty?
But that also go back to that Noe legacy. Do you think if he didn't get over in the Nation, that Noe legacy still want to put him somewhere in the top of the mid card?
If you want to say it would have given him the top of the mid card, sure, I'll give you that. I'll also take that Kofi ran with the IC title quite a few times, featured on some of a lot of WWE's promotional stuff. I mean, he was on Night of Champions. It was him holding the IC title as far as the chair.
Despite everything, Kofi's still a pretty well decorated wrestler, dude.
Don't get me wrong.
He's got a pretty good resume.
It's like I love Kofi Kingston is one of my favorite WWE guys. He's a WWE built guy. He's one of those guys that literally
he did indies, didn't he?
No, actually no. He did minor indies before he went to OVW for like 3 years.
I mean, because he was pretty seasoned by the time he got here.
Because if you remember Kofi, like when Kofi first came to WWE,
I mean, because he could already work, you know.
His last name was his middle name when he first came to WWE.
What do you mean?
When Kofi first came to WWE under the WWE ECW brand, he went under his first name, his middle name, and they put Kingston at the end of it.
Which, say it, would you?
Fuck, I can't remember because I had to look up the last name.
You looked it up last week. Yeah, it was kind of long.
Yeah, and I just like, and I remember like that sound familiar, and I remember that was where he originally came on ECW for like the first 3 months. He was
I don't remember. I don't remember that at all. I
agree.
only remember him being Kofi Kingston.
I'm very
even from his vignettes, you know, being on the beach in Jamaica, man.
Right by the beach.
They dropped it after like 2 or 3 months on the ECW brand.
God, I don't remember that at all. Like I said, even from his vignettes, I remember him just being Kofi Kingston.
So, Smitty, are you in the ilk that Vince McMahon holds people down because of the color of their skin?
I don't think he holds them down. I don't think he looks at them in the same regard as
that would be holding him down.
No, I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's like you think this guy would do it, but you're not sure. You won't pull the trigger because
he's black.
Yeah.
I think back in the day he definitely did. I think everybody did back in the day. That was the.
I think he still does.
That was the way the world worked. You know, not just the wrestling business, every part of the world.
But this guy's a 70-something-year-old.
Yeah, so he still has got that mentality.
He's a product of his generation. That's why I feel the way I feel about it. But I think he's not. He doesn't want to pull the trigger on Kofi because he's a product of his era.
I don't know if Vince like self-made, self-created, you know, from within the company, from the PC up, his own vision, like a Roman Reigns, John Cena-esque character, but he was black and it was Vince's creation. Vince would push that guy to the moon. Or if, you know, there was a black guy that was over, like Stone Cold or The Rock or Becky, Vince wouldn't see it right now in this current state, today, he would not see black. He would see green. He would see money.
Well, he does have a blueprint. He has a blueprint of what he wants, and that blueprint, you know, is a mile long. But sometimes there's just like these little things, and I'm not saying it's because he's black, but there's these little elements that he might be like, I don't think he's really got it. Because like you said, if there was a black Stone Cold fitting that bill, 100% champ, no problem.
Well, even if Kofi was white, he's not he's definitely not the body style or the type of wrestler that Vince usually, gets a boner about.
My thing with it is, and sorry, I just kicked something. I didn't realize I was down there. My thing is exactly what Joe just said. I don't think Vince McMahon has ever seen the color of the person he's pushing. I think he's seen the money that comes from it. And back in the day,
black and green, pretty much.
not what I said at all.
Just green.
Yeah, just green is all he's seen. The bottom line is wrestling, for the most part, back in the early 80s, 70s and stuff, was more territorial with you had New York as the most diverse crowd, we'll give it, right? Everything else was basically run through the South. Georgia,
anything NWA, anything territory related that wasn't
Georgia,
New York,
Mississippi.
Deep South, Mid South, Florida,
Right. So now, back in the day, right?
That's all good old boy shit.
I know.
So now hold on, let me
Jim
finish.
Crow territory.
So basically, the people that were spending the most money obviously would not have spent on a black champion. Hell, saw how it looked when a lot of those guys had a black president, right? So as a company trying to make money, where you're trying to put your champion everywhere, by having someone that's just black without any type of, the reason Iron Sheik is well known for being the champion, and Koloff and everything like that, they were heels from their fucking area, right? So people came there because they wanted to see them get their asses kicked. They never ran as faces.
You know what, too? I know even back in the day, I know Vince was always a big fan of it and had a real big soft spot for, because he worked around here and up in New York, Bobo Brazil. I know Vince loved Bobo Brazil.
But he was top mid Carter at best.
No, Bobo was an exception to the rule. There was a couple black guys from back, in the day that were actually kind of
70s, 80s.
There were exceptions to the rule. Bobo, Ernie Ladd, JYD. I mean, these guys were over.
They were over upper mid Carters.
It didn't matter what color their skin was. They were over. They were fan favorites, even in the South. And JYD was super popular in the South.
Big John Ritter, because I've followed his career since Stampede as a kid. I went back and watched his Stampede stuff.
I think Vince just loves what makes him money at the end of the day. That being said, though, here isn't a bit of an interesting stat. That great All-Star class that Jim Ross signed and Jim Cornette helped develop in OVW back in the day. Batista, Lesnar, Orton, Cena, Benjamin, all those guys.
Minnesota.
The Minnesota stretching
crew.
That was like a nod to the Minnesota wrecking crew. Yeah. Right. Anyway, the only guy out of that whole class that got signed that didn't get a title run and a significant top of the card push was Shelton Benjamin.
Agreed, but again,
but that could just be coincidence, and it probably is.
And I'll be very honest. Look, there's Smitty, you're saying, but Junkyard Dog was just upper mid Carter. Yeah, but who is he going against? Who was fucking the top guy right at the time? Hogan, Warrior.
Hogan, Warrior.
Was he bigger than them?
No, he wasn't bigger than them.
So,
dude, but before he came to WWF,
he was also on the level of guys that were on that upper mid card that you never put him with, like guys like Jake Roberts or Rick Rude.
But he was down south, working for.
He was up in Canada working Stampede with guys like Brett and.
I am not saying I'm not saying that. There are other guys that fuck, man. You can make the argument for many guys that haven't had a major title run. Mr. Perfect, things like that. People think that he is the most screwed guy who. If you had
him and Owen Hart,
Bill Watts is who I meant. JYD was top of the card. Any territory he worked in,
John Ritter,
except for WWF. And you can say that for a lot of guys, including Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, Bobo Brazil was also one of the guys that was booked throughout the 70s and 80s.
I mean, that's just the nature of WWF was just a bigger animal than all the other territories. So, yeah, they're going to take guys, black or white, that are the main event, the top guy from another territory, and they're not going to go in Hogan's territory and be at the top.
But this is also something they've been doing with all these indie signings they've been doing. Like guys like Finn Balor, outside of AJ Styles.
But what's that have to do with what we're talking about?
Right, and that's the thing. And you're making my case really heavily by bringing in this other stuff. It's not so much that the person was black. It's so much that the person was not more over than the people who are at the top of the card. They didn't do anything to get themselves pushed on that level. I'm not saying they weren't popular. I'm not saying they were bad wrestlers. I'm saying that the people who ran the titles, the major titles that had them for the long runs, are people that were dude. I understand that Hogan is kind of built by WWE, and I say kind of because Hulkamania technically started before
AWA.
his So but the WWE gave him the platform to make it
Hogan helped them just as much as they helped him.
Yes, agreed, and that's what I'm saying. But
Hogan, so you're saying Kofi's not a WWE built name?
They couldn't have done that without him, and he couldn't have done that without them. That was a two-way thing.
I'm saying Kofi right now, okay, has a chance to be that first ever all-black WWE champion, right? That's what everyone's talking about, and that's why this is coming. Vince McMahon hates black people. But if Kofi,
I say hates the joke, honestly, to be honest.
I know, but you're joking. A lot of people aren't, and that's what I'm talking about. The other people who aren't. So Kofi Kingston right now is white fucking hot, right? He is. If he takes that title at Mania, it's going to be a huge pop. But what happens after he gets it? What is he doing differently? Because even in New Day, I mean, let's be very honest. The realest thing Vince McMahon ever said to him was, "You'll be a Hall of Famer with New Day, not by yourself." I can't even argue that, because name something Kofi has done that deserves him in the Hall of Fame as a singles competitor.
He had only 3-time U.S. champions, a 5-time Intercontinental champion, 7-time tag team champion.
Okay, and
he had creative spots in Royal Rumbles and Money in the Bank.
The greatest,
right? That's what you remember him from. You don't remember those title runs. You don't remember outside the New Day ones.
His most significant title-esque, or at least title shot-esque run was the run in 2009 with Orton.
Right. And you don't remember his IC title runs as anything spectacular.
And that
you
run
don't
actually
remember his
turned out to
US
be
title
bad
runs
for his career.
as anything spectacular. You love the New Day title runs because they're fun. They're awesome. But outside of right now, which is phenomenal, what Kofi is doing, the matches that he's putting on, what he's going on with these guys, he is undoubtedly doing some of the best wrestling, singles or not, in his career. This is wonderful.
09.
But if Kofi doesn't do something outside of that, if he gets that title at WrestleMania, he's going to fucking fizzle out real quick. And then this whole fucking narrative is going to come back when it's really just as much about the fucking wrestler as it is about what Vince McMahon is going to do to you. And right now, Vince is giving his stamp of approval to Kofi Kingston, and it's not because he's not black. He's black enough. Finally, I can do this.
Yeah, that's the part. Vince is playing the billionaire white elitist that's holding the black man down. That's the part he's playing on purpose to get Kofi over. This whole thing has went from organic to now it's being manufactured.
I agree.
They're trying to like recreate Daniel Bryan's, and you just can't do that, dude. You just can't do that.
And the answer,
and yes, when he replaced Mustafa Ali in that first match, and it was just awesome, and it was beautiful, it was great. It was an organic moment, and the fan hype was real. And that first, let's put a rocket under him right now. But now it's the way they've gone about it since then is like so contrived. It's so forced. It's just so manufactured. It's so produced. It's taking you out of the game, man. At least it is me. I don't, not totally, but it's taken what was really fun and cool to now it's just like, yeah, it's WWE again.
And Joe, that was, like you said, a perfect segue into talking about this Kofi situation.
But I want to answer your question. But what do they do after if he does win?
Yeah,
it's and part of it fucks with this whole putting Vince McMahon inside this whole situation fucks up. It gives you something to work with, but it's something that WWE does not want to work with. Is what Kofi as champion used Vince to keep putting obstacles in his way to lose the title.
All right, but. Again, then you're doing it even more. What's already annoying people now, right? This is the second gauntlet match, and you put him through more stuff. And everyone was like last week. I was like, I'm getting kind of burnt out on this. He needs to just finally be told you're in it, and then it was taken away. It's like, look, you can only. It's similar to the Ronda
building
and Becky.
walls in front of them.
How many fucking times are you going to pull this thing?
Do you think the race card is another reason that people are so much more pissed about it now?
I'm going to tell you this right now. Yes, 100%. I feel 100% positive that if he was another white guy, that it would be just like watching Becky, and it wouldn't be as big of a fucking
deal. Those people that are getting that bent about this and don't realize that this is like a kayfabe storyline thing that's only
Once again, that's why I say
only
the hate
meant to
is a
get
joke.
to make Kofi look better at the end of the day.
Smitty, stop saying that.
People that don't realize that, I'm sorry, man. That's some straight up being
Naivety,
very
yeah, you're very
naivety
naive.
on their.
Yeah.
You're being very naive and very ignorant if you think that this is like a serious race thing against Kofi. It may be built on paper, on storyline to look that way, but that's what it is. It's a freaking story, man. This is a TV show. Get over it.
Smitty.
Is it not still to suspend your disbelief, which is one thing we talk about WWE has lacked to do?
I'm not going to argue that. It's good a suspension of disbelief, but at the same time, if it's
Not in the right way,
people
People are getting up in arms
and
over this
that's what I'm
shit.
saying,
That's
when
ridiculous.
This is becoming an actual thing where people are.
The society can't handle anything anymore.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Well, and if
Well,
if
we're not
this
talking about
were-
Snowflake America
if this
now.
were
It is kind of
15
it does kind of point to that though, because people are getting way too upset over a storyline in a TV show.
If this were 15 years ago, people wouldn't be crying the race car.
Exactly. That's what I'm.
You know what I mean?
That's what.
I'm not gonna say they would not be crying.
Not
it,
nearly-
but not as
Not
bad.
like this.
Not as
not
bad.
like this. That's what my last statement was going towards. What
Yeah.
you just said.
Smitty, are you checking out of this Kofi story because of how it's going?
I'm not checking out.
Hell
the
no, man.
I'm not checking out the Kofi story, but I am annoyed. I am annoyed.
Why are you? What are you annoyed about?
I'm annoyed with the fact, I have bought into this, and I also, as a black man, watching this product for 20 plus years, and I'm just seeing stuff I've seen my entire life, pretty much, unfold in fiction, and I get the wrestling to get away from fiction for lots of the part, and seeing reality put into fiction at some points, it annoys me because it reminds me of stuff that I've gone through myself. It reminds me of things that people I know have gone through, and the whole background between black people and having to work 10 to 100% harder than our white counterparts.
10 to 100% harder? You mean 110% harder?
Let's go with that.
Nick, this Kofi storyline with everything. How are you in with this?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's a little annoying, because it's like you were talking about. Like, I want the payoff now. Fucking put him in the match. All right, we know you're going to end up putting him in the match at some point. Okay, the gauntlet match should have been it. That should have been it. Should have been done. He fucking pinned Randy Orton in the end. Call it a day. You already fucking put him through the ringer by putting him in a match with the top stars on SmackDown.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Literally, your top 5.
Yeah.
And no matter how he beat him, he fucking beat him.
Yeah.
So let's call it a day. If you want to give him the title, give him the title at WrestleMania. If you don't, I'm cool with that. But let's move the fuck on.
So here's the thing. As of right now, recording this, there are 2 episodes of SmackDown before WrestleMania. There's 2 more times that WWE could. You definitely know what's going to happen. At least there's definitely something for Kofi to get into it,
Within the next 2 weeks.
right within this week, right? And then maybe a contract signing the week after or something. But it's like, I agree. It's just so long and drawn out that it's becoming annoying. Same reason Becky fizzled out. You went
Bums me out.
from one of the most hyped up WrestleManias in the fucking world to now the only thing that has hype is Orton AJ?
For nothing.
Right.
A nothing match. A meaningless match.
Right. Just because people want to see 2 of the better in-ring workers go at it and probably steal the show. There's nothing to give a shit about, man. There's not. Seth and Brock, okay, Seth might take the title.
Joe and Ray,
Just announced out of nowhere.
and I like those guys, and I'm sure they can be a good match, but why would you now put Ray with Andrade at this point?
Because honestly, I think that's a better fit because those guys have already had proven chemistry with each other, and they've stolen pre-shows.
I'm saying, and there needs to be a payoff there. They've been feuding and going back and forth with wins.
I will say
this
this
makes
though,
no sense.
I will say this. If you want to make sure that U.S. title's on the main card, Joe versus Ray is a fucking match.
You got to throw Andrade in there somewhere if that's the case. Keep truth out of it.
Do they? Because it sure seems like they're not gonna.
I don't understand why Andrade would have to be involved in this and why R-Truth would have to be involved in this.
I'm not saying Truth doesn't have to be involved, but Andrade, because sorry. Like Joe just said, Andrade Ray is already proving money right now.
But it's also happened a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing them do something for a title down the line, But right now, currently, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio is the match of that hasn't been a singles match yet. I'm okay with that. It's not something I'm supremely excited about.
People still want to see Andrade on that card.
Where's the story?
Cool,
Where's the story there, though?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's no real build to it other than Rey announcing it.
Right.
And and back to where we're going with this is there's an entire WrestleMania card that had the possibility to be one of the greatest WrestleMania cards
since
17. I think WrestleMania 17 is your fucking ultimate WrestleMania.
I think it's one of the ultimate, but I think 19 was still probably a really good one.
I agree, but I'm talking about.
I think if you ask the masses and take the consensus will come back with 17.
Yeah, but again, let's look, dude. Dan Bryan at WrestleMania 30, great ending. Seth Rollins cashing in and making it a triple threat match at the WrestleMania 31, great ending. But that's fine that there's these good endings,
good moments,
but builds to WrestleMania to make look. There's people that are gonna watch WrestleMania because they're gonna watch WrestleMania no matter what. Hi, us four, right? Even if we weren't doing this show, we'd eventually watch WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's WrestleMania. There's people that watch the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl just because of who. It doesn't matter who the teams are. They have tickets to go every fucking year because I want to be at the biggest fucking football game of the fucking year.
I'm going for commercials.
But I'm talking about people that go and stuff like that.
I don't even understand that at all, but that's a whole other story for another day.
But anyway, so that being said, the bottom line is as far as hype and build for this WrestleMania, dude.
They WWE'd it.
No, not you. I fucking hate that term. Because if that's the case, then how did they WWE Austin Rock going into 17? Austin Rock going into 17 was one of the greatest fucking builds of anything. The fucking promo video for it, fucking everything. It was spectacular. The WWE has great ability to make things wonderful. The problem is
that's what frustrates me the most about them.
That's why I say they WWE because they have the potential, they have the ability to do things. But over the last, let's say, almost 20 years.
Let me ask you a question, right? Just a quick question: is everything that black people do bad?
No.
Okay, so if someone, all right, just started using terms that, they black person this.
Nigga.
No, I'm literally saying black person because then a white person can say it. It's literally, if they say, they black person that. What do you mean? Well, they stole it. Just because of the bad shit? And that's why I'm saying it's dumb. It's dumb to use that type of term. They didn't WWE it. They overthought it. And they put more into it than needed to be.
Oh, so they Mikey'd it on a scorecard.
100% I'll take that one. I'll take a Mikey one because I've overthought every goddamn scorecard we've ever done, including the one that got me the Breaking Down the Ring Crew Championship this time, baby. But that's goddamn midget stripper. I'm so mad at her. She hates me. She boos every time. Fuck you, bitch. But that's what I'm saying. So when you say WWE'd it, my first thought is, but they've WWE'd Hogan and 17 and The Rock.
No, I understand what he means by that, though.
But I also get it too. But what I'm saying is,
when I say WWE,
get out of the mindset
over the last
of
2 decades, pretty much over the last damn near 15.
I got your back on this one. I know what you mean by that. I know exactly what you mean by that.
They're too big for themselves, and when I mean WWE, they overthink it to the point where you've completely lost what WWE used to be.
They overproduce it, they overscript it, they overmanufacture it, they beat it to death, and they make you, the fucking consumer, not give a fuck about it somehow. Don't know the exact way they got there, but that's where you end up.
They bought out their competition. That's what the fuck happened, to be honest.
They signed way too many people to their roster that they're not using at all. That's not a good thing.
Once again, they go back to buying out your competition.
So anyway, back to this. The WrestleMania build. Because of this, with the Kofi stuff, with the Becky stuff, they have brought in, what they have done in overdoing these storylines is they're killing the build for it to get a casual fan to stay in. I understand it. We've said it over and over again. Look, the ending is great, but it's not the ending I want. I don't want the ending. I want a journey. I want a good journey. I don't give a fuck if the person's going to win at the end of a movie. You know, I knew what fucking Darth Vader was going to be before the fucking prequels came out. Doesn't mean the fucking prequels of Star Wars were great movies. You know?
Revenge of the Sith was.
It was good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll agree with that. But those first two were horrid. People went and watched them because they wanted to watch a Star Wars movie. Yeah. They did box office numbers because it was a Star Wars movie. This is going to do big numbers because it's WrestleMania. But the build to it is going to piss people off and alienate people. And it has. Look at their fucking ratings. Even now, their ratings are going back down. It's just...
Yeah, you're right.
Fuck WWE. No, that's not true either because I fucking love it.
Are we still getting back in ROH and fucking New Japan? Like, I've been paying more attention to that.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Joe, Smitty, you guys obviously have you watched all the ROH stuff that happened?
I've been watching bits and pieces. I know things.
I watched 17th anniversary last weekend.
I watched some of it.
Which, like I said, our PW Scorecards brethren attended.
Yeah, man. So talk about it. How'd you feel? ROH 17th anniversary. Obviously, some of the builds going into what's going to be happening at the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden
Definitely
Saturday
some things
before
that happened
WrestleMania.
there has some definite implications on April 6th, the G1 Supercard at MSG. Well, first and foremost, give me one. I'll be quick, Smitty. There was supposed to be tag title versus tag title match at the Garden. The Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Leo versus the Briscoe brothers, IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship belts versus Ring of Honor Tag Team Heavyweight Championship belts. However, at 17th anniversary, PCO, who is not human, and his tag team partner Brody King defeated the Briscoe brothers in what was an unbelievable match, to say the least.
Aren't they Villain Enterprises as well?
Yeah, they are. But Marty was not with them on that one. Marty had his own thing, and Will have his own thing at G1 Supercard. But so, yeah, I don't know how. So that's definitely going to change what was already booked at G1 Supercard. I don't know what's going on there, but either way, I think it's going to be fun. And as I stated before, if you haven't seen PCO, you need to get you some PCO because that guy is fucking crazy.
So also a couple of days ago, this is another thing that happened on the 16th on Saturday. Villain Enterprises.
Your message didn't make any sense.
Villain Enterprises won the 3-man tag team championships from the Kingdom on the 16th.
Okay, because that's not how your text came off.
Yeah, that's. I figured you already saw it.
Keep going with the story.
I figured you already. Well, and that goes back into the whole how G1's ROH title match was changed because on ROH TV this week they announced that the ROH World Championship and that is a 3-way ladder match between Matt Taven, Marty Scurll, and Ring of Honor champion Jay Lethal, which originally it was set to be Jay Lethal versus Marty Scurll.
I liked Marty Scurll put out a tweet quoting it, and he goes, "How does one learn how to fall off a ladder?"
and for that, like that was I posted something like that's what goes what Joe was talking about in our message in the messages, like because I found out it was the triple threat, and he told me about the tag match, and I'm like he said my message made no sense, and I'm like, did you not catch the? I didn't get to say it, but.
No, because you made it the way you wrote it out was like you made it sound like that the heavyweight championship ladder match was changed. You were like it changed from Jay Lethal to
originally it was 1-on-1 Marty Scurll versus Lethal.
Right, and now it's changed to Jay Lethal.
But you made it sound like it changed to like a 6-man tag or what?
You just kind of comprehended what I put there.
Yeah, it was kind of just.
So is this building up to be one of the better ROH New Japan shows that you, in recent memory there, Joe? Sorry.
Yeah, another thing. Yeah, I think it is. Another match that got booked at 17th anniversary for the MSG show is Dalton Castle versus Roosh, one of ROH's new signees, who is, I believe, the actual founder of the Los Ingobernables. in Mexico, not Japan.
The Mexico, the AAA, yeah.
With who was obviously associated with Andrade and Naito when he was on excursion there.
Right.
So and he's I don't know if you guys have seen much of him. He's got star power potential. This Roosh guy.
Roosh.
So, but he's really good. He had a match against Bandito at ROH 17th anniversary. You've seen Bandito at All In.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good match.
Bandito's also kind of semi-contracted to Impact as well right now.
I didn't know that. Probably see Bandito. Not probably. I mean, we'll see Bandito one way or another at the MSG show. See, because I am excited for this, and I'll tell you why. Because Ring of Honor, the landscape of their roster has changed incredibly in a very short amount of time. We have a caller.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone right now, the one, the only Dez from Pro Wrestling Scorecards. How are you, love?
I'm good.
She,
What's up, Beach?
She,
Hey.
hey, that's your opponent, Nick. You have to be mean to her the whole time.
Hang up the fucking phone.
I'll be his Paul Heyman. What's up, bitch?
So Dez, who all went to it? It was you, Daniel, Jesse went?
Jesse only went the second night for the TV tapings. Oh,